World's first ever social media ban for under-16s has passed Australian Parliament. The government says it will protect kids, and your aunt on Facebook says it will usher in a utopian age of wholesome childhoods. But are they right?
The year is 2025. Kids across Australia drop their phones and go outside to climb trees, drink from the hose, ride their bikes in the warm summer evening, maybe go on a quest to find lost pirate treasure. You know, all the stuff the oldies like to post about on Facebook, the thing they're still allowed to use.
The matter's resolved in the affirmative.
This morning, the under-16 social media ban became law.
Platforms now have a social responsibility to ensure the safety of our kids is a priority for them.
Dissenters say the law has been poorly thought out and won't be effective.
We are not sure yet whether this hasty, blunt attempt will do anything to reduce the social harms to children of social media.
And Facebook parent company Meta agreed.
We are concerned about the process which rushed the legislation through while failing to properly consider the evidence, what industry already does to ensure age-appropriate experiences, and the voices of young people.
But with platforms notoriously bad at self-regulation and teen mental health issues skyrocketing, polls show 3/4 of Aussies back the ban.
It takes away our parenting controls, but it also gives us a scapegoat to, tell our children that it's legislation.
The ban will include TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, X and Reddit, but will exclude messaging apps like Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp, as well as YouTube and gaming sites. It won't come into effect for 12 months to give platforms time to figure out how to implement the ban, with fines of up to $50 million if they don't. The new law making headlines around the world.
I mean, that's kind of crazy to me. It's already just a part of our daily lives. It would be hard to get people off of it.
So, with the ban now in the books, is it a dawn of a new age of childhood? Or is it just a futile attempt to get the toothpaste back in the tube?
Lucy Thomas is from the anti-bullying initiative Project Rockit, joins us now. Thanks for your time. You talk to kids about cyberbullying. Now that this law is official, do you think kids will be safer?
Well, I certainly hope they'll be safer, but I don't believe they will. I think the idea of social media bans is hugely popular among parents, many of whom are dealing with the challenges that their kids are facing online, and others that have been fed a very narrow, fear-based narrative about young people's experiences. But the reality is this approach has been trialled around a whole range of parts of the world and failed. So while we're really proud about our world-leading legislation, many of us are concerned that it may actually make online life more unsafe for young people.
At risk of ageing myself and turning me into a 90-year-old, what are the kids saying about this?
Not at all a 90-year-old. I wish more people were actually asking what young people think. And we're really lucky at Project Rockit. We deliver programs into schools all over the country. So we're having these yarns with young people every day. And they're telling us that they do want help with the challenges they face online. They do want support from adults to have safer online experiences. But many of them actually feel that they're being punished for problems that they didn't create and being cut off from the incredible benefits that they enjoy online, the opportunity to find social experiences, connect with community, raise their voices about social issues they care about, access new skills and information about themselves. And so, yeah, they're actually feeling pretty disappointed and that we're talking about them without them.
Lucy, can I throw this out to you? Because I had a WhatsApp group with mates, we're all dads, and we were talking about it. And the idea was floated, say flip phones for everyone under 18. So they don't have smartphones in their pocket, they can still get social media, say, on a laptop or a desktop. But then at least it could be policed a little easier because you could see it in their hands. What do you reckon of that?
Well, it'd be kind of like having a whole bunch of 1990s business execs walking around in the bodies of 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
So the comedic value's there, but the reality is that for young people, online isn't a separate experience to offline. And so, for them, when they connect on social media, they're socialising, they're accessing education, news like we're accessing here. And so the concern with flip phones is while they're very cool and very retro, they may actually be limiting young people's participation rights.
The reality is that this law's passed Parliament now. I mean, the next 12 months is going to be a certainty. So what would you like to see happen next?
Oh, I'm excited by this. And while I've been, one of the people questioning whether this is the path we should go down, now that we are going down this path, I think there's a real opportunity to go deep, to understand young people's online lives, to co-design these solutions. We haven't worked out how this will be implemented. I think there's a real opportunity for government and industry and community groups to come together to actually support young people with better education in schools, like the likes of Project Rockit and many of our peers, and to really importantly provide support to parents and families who, one of the things I think we can say about this conversation is that there are a lot of parents and families who are really struggling with these issues, and my heart goes out to them. I've had conversations with a lot of them. So I think we can really dial up these supports and hopefully create a solution here that's going to be really meaningful to those who need it the most.
Lucy, this is definitely not the end of the conversation. Hopefully it's the beginning of some much bigger, deeper conversations, especially with young people. But what's the best piece of advice that you have for parents who are dealing with a kid who's being bullied?
Yeah, I think I've been asked this a lot, and I think the best piece of advice that I have is to really listen and try to centre your young person where you can. I think we're hearing so many of these cases, tragically, of the worst that we're seeing online. But for every young person who experiences the worst on social media, there are many more for whom social media currently is a lifeline, and we need to understand the complexity of their experiences, where we can walk side by side with them and be the support that they needed. And we can only do that by really understanding their experiences, which are going to be different to our own as well.
Hey, Lucy, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Lucy's great. I'd love her to talk to my kids. I think she was wonderful.